was out yesterday taking a little camping trip, but we ended up getting our preview of the Season 4 Reloaded or mid-season update for Warzone and Black Ops Cold War. But also today, we got a little bit of some patch notes for Black Ops Cold War. So today, I want to take a little bit of time and talk about everything that we know about the mid-season update right now, what you can expect, when you can expect it, and everything that comes along with it along the way. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything in particular you're really looking forward to here out of this update? Whether it be Warzone, zombies, multiplayer, and whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. Or if you're not really looking forward to anything else, feel free to let me know that as well down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's aim for 1,000 likes here on this video. And if you're new to the channel and want us to stay with all things Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related, especially as we round into the second half of Season 4 here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything we have up on deck, because there is a lot coming. And finally, a big thank you to these legends on screen for using creator code ESPRESSO in the in-game store. Whether in Warzone, Cold War, or Modern Warfare, the option to support the channel is there. It is 100% optional, but if you ever decide to do so, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support in upcoming videos. That said, let's jump right into it because there is a lot to talk about in regards to the mid-season update. So let's start out with the update itself. As with all updates recently, we end up seeing that we'll end up having two updates that are separate. One that comes first on Black Ops Cold War to sort of prep and get Cold War ready for the coming content without releasing most of said content, but also one with Modern Warfare and Warzone to add in the Warzone related content, but also at the same time make content for Cold War playable as well, time gating that stuff and then releasing it all at once, but the updates themselves separated by 24 hours. The first of these updates will come later tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern, and 5 a.m. BST, but if you're actually on PlayStation, this should be preloadable for you now, meaning you can download it and have it ready by that time, giving a little bit of an extra buffer to those that may need some time in regards to slower download speeds. That's for the Cold War content, which actually patch notes are out right now. We'll cover some of the big stuff here in this video, but for the most part, a lot of it is technical things you may not care too much about, but some of these quality of life changes may leak through as of tonight, but most of it isn't going to be released until tomorrow night. Now that Warzone update though, again, will go live 24 hours later, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern, and 5 a.m. BST. This one likely again having another preload period for PlayStation players at some point tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that one. But the sizing of this update will be relatively substantial, though not as large as other updates we've seen in the past, and surprisingly, Cold War's update this time leads the pack in sizing, with PlayStation 5 seeing 17.9 gigabytes, PlayStation 4 14.5 gigabytes, Xbox Series X and Series S 21.3 gigabytes, Xbox One 11.4 gigabytes, and PC 13 gigabytes without the HD pack and 21.2 gigabytes with the HD pack. It's also noted that PC players will need anywhere from 63.2 gigabytes to 111.5 gigabytes of additional space to account for the copying process, but that space isn't needed upon completion of the update. So it's kind of a temporary thing, kind of like having enough space to back up your car from a parking spot, where it doesn't actually affect how much space you need for your car to fit in, but it's just shifting the contents and making sure you can actually move that contents around. As for Warzone, it's still a decent download, but again, not as large. PlayStation 4 and 5, 8.9 gigabytes, Xbox Series X, S, and 1, 9.2 gigabytes, and PC, 9.2 gigabytes for Warzone only, and 10.4 gigabytes for Warzone and Modern Warfare. And again, PC players needing a little bit more, 12.4 to 12.9 gigabytes of extra space to account for that copying process that won't be used once the update is finished. But content-wise, there's a lot of really cool stuff here coming with the mid-season update, though a lot of it pertains to zombies. There is quite a few bit of quality of life things that are really worthwhile and exciting to me. So detailing from the blog post associated with yesterday's announcement, as well as the roadmap that confirms all of this, and patch notes that came out earlier today. On the multiplayer side of things, we'll end up having firstly a brand new 6v6 map, or rather a returning 6v6 map of Rush, a DLC map that came from Black Ops 2 that, I've said it before, it's a map that I didn't quite realize I would love to see back until it was confirmed to be coming back. It's one of those maps that was great, but honestly, I almost entirely forgot about it. Now, we'll also see that introduced, but as well, things like Capture the Flag and Paintball Mosh Pit. Capture the Flag coming at launch being that traditional mode that you know and love from past Call of Duties, while Paintball Mosh Pit will be introduced later in the season. That you can actually end up seeing is including things like that paintball tracer round effect from the Big Joke 3 bundle blueprints, and it's basically one giant paintball match, which if you ask me is pretty cool. We'll see Rush 24/7 introduced and Cranked Mosh Pit coming, along with the new weapons of the OTS-9 at the beginning of the season, and then, as stated as in-season, the Mace melee weapon, my guess is 2 weeks from now, which is also that 2-week out mark from Season 5's launch. so bear in mind that will be coming a little bit later. Weaver is also mentioned as coming in season, which is interesting given that he's kind of the poster boy of this update, so strange he's not coming with the update itself. But truth be told, one of the biggest things I'm excited for is the new quality of life changes to League Play and the Prestige Shop. With this update, we're actually going to see new Prestige Shop and League Play rewards in the way of actual weapon blueprints, which is awesome. I've personally been hoping for this and asking for this for quite some time with the Prestige Shop since the very beginning, and League Play, I've been asking for camos as rewards and things like that for all the way back into Black Ops 2, making it worthwhile to play these ranked modes. But the ones listed for the Prestige Shop are the Confrontation Krig and the Dark Horse MP5. The Confrontation Krig is actually a continuation of that art design for, I think there were the East and West Wall AK-47 and M16 blueprints, but those were the part of the special edition exclusives of Cold War for the Confrontation Weapons Pack. So those are reused assets in a sense, but it's actually a really cool design in my opinion. Right now from the patch notes, it seems like those are the only two ones going to be introduced as of right now. There's repeated mention of those two and only those two blueprints, but here's the hoping in the future we end up getting more and more blueprints in the Prestige Shop for those rewards. League Play also again looks to offer some things here in the way of the Pro Issue blueprints for what appears to be the Diamates, the 74U, and the Krig, which again is fitting because those are relevant to competitive play, but it's phenomenal to see that there's actually a reason to play League Play now, if you ask me. These milestones now are updated with 10 wins giving you a Weapon Charm sticker emblem, 20 wins that pistol blueprint, Weapon Charm sticker emblem, 35 wins, a Weapon Charm sticker and emblem, 50 wins the Krig blueprint, Weapon Charm sticker and emblem, 75 wins, a Weapon Charm sticker and emblem, and then 100 wins, that's 74U blueprint, along with a Weapon Charm sticker and emblem. Truthfully, I've been saying it many times, this is the way that I think it should be. Introduce something that allows players to want to stick around League Play and then have that skill-based ELO ranked matchmaking in there and kind of tone it down within casual play, man. That's something that it's casual. It's not supposed to be a sweaty match every single game. That's why you have a competitive mode, but I guess that's a different argument from Pandora's box for a different day. Also on the multiplayer side of things, we end up seeing that the nuke streak is going to be taken from that cranked hardpoint and actually put into most of the game modes here within Black Ops Cold War. It's a 30 gun streak, now callable. It won't end the game, but it will wipe out everybody on the enemy team. So kind of how the nukes have worked in recent years, minus Modern Warfare 2019. You also will end up seeing that there's going to be daily double XP tokens that can be earned by completing your first daily challenges in either multiplayer or zombies once this update is live. And you can come back and get one of those each day, although if you do miss out on a day, it's not like they stack and roll over to the next day. Once you miss a day, that day is essentially lost. You're also going to see that the high-res texture pack is going to be available for PlayStation 5. Now, that's the multiplayer side of things for Black Ops Cold War. A lot of this update for the mid-season is relating to zombies, but I know probably the vast majority of viewers here on the channel don't necessarily care about zombies as much as, say, MP or Warzone, so we'll save that here to the end. We're going to talk about Warzone next because there are still a decent number of things that have been previewed so far, though truth be told, there's still probably going to be a lot as of tomorrow's update that may make some waves in the gameplay experience. I personally am expecting a decent weapon tuning pass to happen as of tomorrow, but we won't know until Raven puts out their patch notes, again, as of sometime tomorrow. But what we know of right now is firstly that we'll see that new mode Payload that was introduced via the initial Season 4 roadmap. But Payload is a game mode that they described is inspired by game modes like Call of Duty World War II's War Mode, which, pause, I see what you're doing there, Call of Duty. I imagine that's intentional. Nice subtle plug there for what may be to come. But anyways, the mode pits two teams of 20 against each other in a race against time for intel escorting vehicles or trying to block vehicles that carry satellite parts. There's an attacking and defending side where the attacking team has to escort all vehicles to the checkpoints within the time limit to win the match, but defenders can also buy and build obstacles to stall those vehicles on the tracks, which again sounds incredibly like War Mode if you've played that. It was a ton of fun back in World War II, I thought, though it may not be your cup of tea, to each their own. But you'll start out with your custom loadouts here, dropping in with whatever weapons you end up wanting, but also can still search for things around the map like ammo, cash, streaks, and all. Now, unless I missed it, they haven't mentioned if this is going to be the full size of Verdansk. I think this is more so going to be like Warzone Rumble, where it's just a smaller subsection of Verdansk, not necessarily the entire world. That would be kind of crazy for 20v20, but that'll be introduced here at launch. We're also going to see at the launch of the mid-season update a brand new kill streak of the Sentry Gun, which right up front, I'm not sure how much I'm going to like this. I think there's a couple of variables that will, in my mind, make me wonder if it will be worth it. If it has the same properties as the turret that you could get from Warzone earlier before Black Ops Cold War's integration, then I don't think I'd care too much because the damage on that wasn't all that great. It was kind of hard to manage and you were of course stationary. The problem with a Sentry Gun is that it's an automated system, so you don't have to be right on it. The only nice part though that I think that counters this here that's already been described is that it's only going to last for about a minute and then will disappear, and it's also only going to be lootable via red door supply box. So it's going to be something that is a lot rarer than just something you can pick up out of a regular supply cache. So if it doesn't do too much damage, I think it'll be nice for a niche item, but it's not something you'll go out of the way or will be too game changing for. There's also going to be in season something called Blueprint Blitz, which I am incredibly looking forward to, and I think that you definitely should be as well if you care at all about exclusive loot. This is going to be activated throughout the season where, like these global events like double XP weekends, contraband contracts will automatically spawn after you complete 2 regular contracts. But those contraband contracts, you remember, have a lot of blueprints from the past that you can no longer get anymore. And if I'm not mistaken, that also is in the same loot pool as things like the Muddrobber MP7, Enigma CR56, the Firebrand Bruin, and the likes of weapons even like Easter egg items that you can't get anymore. So that will be a great way to catch up on any exclusive blueprints if you don't have those. I'm very excited to see that come back here. But the final thing mentioned is that of the red doors. This is listed as a sort of description from in-game in Verdansk, where they say brave operators across Verdansk have gone through the red doors, stepping out into parts unknown. Further intel suggests that these red doors will appear redacted and will take you to redacted, seemingly maybe adding more to the list here of where these have been known to spawn, but also taking you to different locations. But they finish off by saying, as Perseus sleeper cells are still at large in Verdansk, we caution you to redacted. That doesn't really give a whole ton of detail on that last bit, but it's interesting to see this will be a continuation of that red door system and perhaps tethered to a new Easter egg at this time in Verdansk. Perhaps dealing with the previously locked off mine shafts, if you were to ask me. That's still something we haven't quite seen along Verdansk and has been explained at all, so maybe we see that happening, but that's just a thought. The final things when it comes to Warzone is that we're going to see the gifting feature now available in Warzone as well for things like your battle pass and the bundles, but to me those are a little bit lesser of importance than some of the other things we'll see here, probably out of patch notes as of tomorrow, and the rest of the stuff to talk about in this video. So finally, the last things in terms of content come down to zombies. We've talked a lot about this here in relation to, of course, the big marquee ticket item is that of the brand new standalone zombies map, the round-based wave map, Mauer der Toten. I'm very excited here to play around with this one. I'm a huge zombies fan, but I'll be totally honest with you, doing Dark Ether earlier in the year kind of burned myself out on that. I played so much zombies to the point where I think now I'm just finally starting to catch up doing DM Ultra of playtime in MP to zombies in Cold War. But you'll have that brand new map to play around with. You'll have Mule Kick with 5 different tiers of upgrades, with the 5th being actually a really good one to go here for, that being where your 3rd primary weapon is actually recovered when repurchasing Mule Kick, because that's something that in the past when Mule Kick's been in zombies, if you go down and you end up losing that perk, you end up losing that weapon. A lot of the times you really had to kind of juggle which one was the weapons you really wanted to keep, because if you had an arsenal that was phenomenal, you didn't really want to lose that ray gun or something like that if you dropped that Mule Kick perk. But that's added in, and I'm very excited to play around with that. You'll have the brand new weapon of the Cerberus, or CRBRS, the new tactical equipment at crafting tables of the LT-53 Casimir grenade, which for those that have played the originals, or I guess maybe even all the way to Zombies Chronicles and Black Ops 3, if you remember the Gersh device, this will feel right at home because it's essentially that. You'll have brand new Requiem advancement challenges, and for those on PlayStation, new Onslaught content as well. The only other things that have been detailed outside of this are some previews for shop content coming from not only just the start here of the mid-season update, but a little later on down the line for the last couple of weeks of the season, including that Weaver Operator bundle, including some team supporter packs here as the CDL ends up gearing up towards champs, the Spec Ops Pro pack, which is just like the Gilded Age 3 Pro pack, something that gives you COD points, plus an operator skin and a couple of other blueprints as well, the Tracer pack Firestorm Maxis Mastercraft bundle, the Mothership Mastercraft bundle, and the Magma Fury bundle as well. But those are things that I think, again, can be talked about at a later point. They don't captivate me as much here as the other things. But that's the update here that we'll see starting as early as of tonight and then kicking off with the content rolling out as of tomorrow. So that's where we're at here with this. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Are you looking forward to the content coming at hand with the mid-season update? Anything in particular you're looking forward to? Maybe not so much. Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so I'm a single thing running all things Warzone, Cold War, and anything COD related, especially as we round into a new mid-season event with a lot of stuff coming on the other side. Make sure you just stick it here so you don't miss any of it. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get outside of YouTube. Practice on both those. So if you guys want to check out a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.